चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिव गौर भक्तवृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिव गौर भक्तवृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिव गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So today is Wednesday. It is 3rd of September. It is Rishikesha Masa, Bhadra Masa, Sukla Paksham, and Ekadasi today. So today is the Pashva Ekadasi, fasting from grains, beans, and cereals, and any seeds as well, which give more strength, more nutritious. Pulp can be taken from the fruits. Okay, that is today is Pashva Ekadasi. We shall read about Pashva Ekadasi Katha. So can I request Usha Mataji to read this Katha, please?
Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Pashwa Ekadasi is on 3rd September 2025, India. Pashva Ekadasi, Vamana Ekadasi, is one of the most auspicious Ekadasi fasting. On this Ekadasi, 10th incarnation of Lord Keshava and named as Vaman Dev is worshipped. Hence, this sacred Ekadasi is also called Parivartana Ekadasi or Vaman Ekadasi. It is believed that the devotees who observe Pashva Ekadasi fast and worship Vaman Dev acquire the blessing of the Lord. Thus their all wishes are accomplished. Brahmana Vaivarta Puranic description about Pashva Ekadasi. In a conversation between Lord Krishna and Yudhishthira Maharaj in Brahma Vaivarta Puran, this sacred fast is portrayed. Once Yudhishthira Maharaj asked Lord Krishna, "Hey Janardhan, what is the name of Ekadasi which falls on the 11th day of Bhadrapada month in the Sukla Paksha? Hey Lord, please elaborate on the rituals and significance of this auspicious Pashva Ekadasi fast." Lord Krishna dissertation about significance of Pashva Ekadasi. Krishna replied to Yudhishthira, "Hey Rajan, this proposition Ekadasi is known as Pashva Ekadasi. On hearing the significance of this fast, an individual can get relief from their past sins. On keeping fast on this auspicious day, the individual get more benefits than Vajpayee Yagya. This Ekadasi is also known as Jayanti Ekadasi. An individual who worship my incarnation as Vaman Dev gets benefited with high spiritual gains. Whoever worships the lotus feet of the Lord offering lotus is considered as closest to the Lord. Any devotee who keeps fast on Sukla Paksha Ekadasi of Bhadrapad is believed to have worshipped three lokas, including Brahma and Vishnu. Therefore, it is advised to observe fast on Ekadasi. Reason behind name of Pashva Ekadasi. According to the scriptures, Lord Madhusudana changes his position. Therefore, Lord changes his position and turns sideways from left to right on this day. This is the reason that this Ekadasi is known as Pashva Ekadasi or Parivartana Ekadasi. Yudhishthir's query. Hey Janardhan, kindly help me in getting answer of my few questions. Hey, Deveswar, Deveswar, how do you slumber? How you turn sideways? How we should follow this Chaturmas and what to do when you sleep? Why do you keep Bali Maharaj in captivity? Kindly answer all my questions and clear my debate. Lord Sri Krishna's reply, Hey Rajan, now you listen to this encouraging story that can terminate all the past sins from one's life. There was a devotee named Bali born in Treta Yuga in a clan of Daityas. He was very truthful. He used to do charity and serves Brahmins. Along with his family, he always serves and worshipped me. He even cherished Brahmins and performed many yajnas. As an outcome of it, he became highly potent. Outcome of his serving of Lord. Due to his power by worshipping the Lord with dedication and devotion, he defeated Indradev and became crowned head of heaven. That time all the sages came to Lord to resolve their problems. Lord appeared as Vaman avatar and reached the place where King Bali was performing Yagya's ritual. How Lord resolved problems of sages. When Lord entered that place, Lord just stipulated three-step land from King Bali. At the same time, Bali pleads to take more than that land, but Lord acquires only 3 feet of land as a donation from him. So King Bali, without any second thought, gave me 3 steps of land. Immediately, Lord assumed the form of Mahakal, in which in one step took the 7 lokas, in the second step took the 7 lokas along with the sky. When Lord asked for space to keep the third foot to King Bali, he civilly kept his head forward to provide space to Lord for the third step. Lord reactions. Being impressed with his devotion and dedication, Lord blessed him that he will always be with him. On that same day, the auspicious Ekadasi, deity of Vamandev is entrenched at Maharaj Bali's residence. The second deity is Ananta Shesha of Kshir Sagar. Significance of Chaturmas. From Sayan Ekadasi to Utthana Ekadasi, Lord stay asleep. In these 4 months, everyone should perform a special rituals to worship. Everyone should follow intently and wholeheartedly all the Ekadasi that falls in between these 4 months. By following this Ekadasi fasting, anyone can get a similar outcome as a Aswamedh Yagya. Ekadasi is the most favorite of Lord. Along with fasting on this auspicious day of Ekadasi, if a devotee does Harinam Sankirtan, Lord gets immensely impressed and bless them with the divine blessings of the Lord. According to scriptures on hearing Kirtan, remembering Lord and spending life on Lord's lotus feet, etc. are the 9 divisions of bhakti. But Nam Sankirtan is the best among all. So on Ekadasi we should chant more Lord's holy name. So come, let's convince and fast on Parshva Ekadasi. On this day, chant, remember, and do Nam Sankirtan of Lord's name as much as we can, and it liberates the devotees from the cycle of birth and death. So let's FAQT the path of bhakti to bestows happiness, wealth, and good health, and get released from all the sins. All over the world, all the devotees keep fast on this auspicious day of Parashva Ekadasi. In all the temples of ISKCON, devotees chant Nam Sankirtan on this day to get the blessings of the Lord on this bright day and make their birth relevant and worthy.
Hare
Yeah, Parashva Ekadasi ki jai.
Jai. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare
So
Krishna.
the breakfast time that is tomorrow, it is 6:18 and 10:45. Okay, so that is from the young's perspective. So we shall move into our daily Srimad Bhagavatam. So before we Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Hare Krishna. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, so Maitreya Muni describing the prayers of demigods to Vidura. So here we have started from 39 shloka 2. So it goes until 51. So the the demigods are praying all these verses. Most of the verses are taking the shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. So starting from Namamate Deva Padaravindam Prapannatapopa Patram Unmulaketa Yatinjasoru Samsara Dukkam Bahirutchapante धातर्यदिस्मिन् भवेश जीवाः तापत्रयेनापि हता न शर्म आत्मन् लभन्ते भगवंस्तवाङ्घ्रि छायां सविज्झमत आश्रयेम मर्घन्त्येते मुखपद्मनीडैः चन्दः सुपर्णैः वृषो विविक्ते यस्यागमर्षोदसरिज्वरायाः पदं पदं तीदपतः प्रपन्नाः यश्रद्धया सुतवच्चा च भक्त्या समृज्यमाने हृदये वदाय ज्ञानेन वैराग्यबलेन धीरा व्रजेम तत्र सरोजपीठम्. So giving different kinds of insights by demigods and taking the shelter of lotus feet of the Lord. One is the sages or any learned people or devotees who have taken shelter of the lotus feet. They will throw out all kinds of miseries, and there is no happiness in this material world. And by taking the shelter of Lord's lotus feet, they will gain the knowledge as well. And devotees, they take the shelter of lotus feet, and just like they're taking the wings of the hymns of Vedic injunctions, and they try to search the face of the lotus face of the Lord from feet to the face. They will fly with the Vedic injunctions. They're just like a wings. And then here they also mentions that by taking shelter of lotus feet, they cleanse their hearts. Samrujhamani hridevadaya. And then also they gain knowledge and detachment. Jnanena vairagya bhalena dhira. In such a way, they wanted to take the shelter of lotus feet of the Lord. Vrajem tatringri sarojhapitam. So in such a way, demigods are praying. So today we have got Krishna Keshav Prabhuji here. So to speak on Srimad Bhagavatam from verse number 43. Hare Krishna, Krishna Keshav Prabhuji, thank you for kindly joining. And we pray for yourself and also mother, so that all auspiciousness to be invoking for your mother. So now I request you to speak on this particular shloka. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Amok Prabhu. Good morning to you all. I'll just get straight into the verse if that's all right, because I've got to go back to the hospital this morning to pick up my mother to bring her home. There's not much more we can do for her, so she wants to spend her last few weeks here at home with us. So thank you for giving me this opportunity to join you. It provides a lot of relief and comfort. So the verse, Vishvasya janma sthiti samyamarte Kritavatarasya padam bhujamte Vrajema sarve sharanam yadisha Smritam prayachyati abhayam svapumsham. And the translation? O Lord, you assume incarnations for the creation, maintenance, and dissolution of the cosmic manifestation, and therefore we all take shelter of your lotus feet, because they always award remembrance and courage to your devotees, something that I need to be thinking about today, that, it's going to be the courage from taking shelter of Krishna's feet, of our Lord's feet, that we're going to get through this as a family. It's the only way. So the purport: for the creation, maintenance, and dissolution of the cosmic manifestations, there are three incarnations: Brahma, Vishnu, and Maheshvara, Lord Shiva. They are the controllers or masters of the three modes of material nature, which cause the phenomenal manifestation. Vishnu is the master of the mode of goodness. Brahma is the master of the mode of passion, and Maheshwar is the master of the mode of ignorance. There are different kinds of devotees according to the modes of nature. Persons in the mode of goodness worship Lord Vishnu. Those in the mode of passion worship Lord Brahma, and those in the mode of ignorance worship Lord Shiva. All three of these deities are incarnations of the Supreme Lord Krishna, because he is the original Supreme Personality of Godhead. The demigods directly refer to the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord and not the different incarnations. The incarnation of Vishnu in the material world is, however, directly worshipped by the demigods. It is learned from various scriptures that the demigods approach Lord Vishnu in the ocean of milk and submit their grievances whenever there is some difficulty in the administration of universal affairs. Although they are incarnations of the Lord, Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva worship Lord Vishnu, and thus they are also counted amongst the demigods, and not as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Persons who worship Lord Vishnu are called demigods, and persons who do not do so are called asuras, or demons. Vishnu always takes the part of the demigods, but Brahma and Shiva sometimes take the side of the demons. It is not that they become one in interest with them, but sometimes they do something in order to gain control over the demons. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So, what is Srila Prabhupada explaining to us here? Well, he's telling us really that in order for the creation, maintenance, and dissolution, the final wiping out of this vast cosmic manifestation, the material world, the material universes, the Lord, he mercifully expands himself into three principal incarnations: Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. And these are in charge of the modes of material nature: goodness, passion, and ignorance. And these modes are the modes by which the phenomenal world actually operates. Lord Vishnu, he governs the mode of goodness. Lord Brahma, he directs the mode of passion. And Lord Shiva is in charge of the mode of ignorance. Accordingly, different living beings, as we are, we're all influenced by these modes. We're all naturally inclined to worship these respective controllers according to our nature. Those in goodness worship Lord Vishnu. Those in passion worship Lord Brahma, and those in ignorance worship Lord Shiva. That does not mean to say that those who worship Lord Shiva, of course, are ignorant, just that our natures may be very different. It is important to understand that all three of these presiding deities, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, are all expansions of the original Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. Just as the rays reflect the brilliance of the sun, these powerful manifestations carry out Krishna's will in managing the affairs of the material world and the material universes. Even the demigods, although they may be highly qualified, they ultimately turn to Lord Vishnu for shelter. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada tells us that when there are disturbances in the universe, they approach him in the milk ocean, and they humbly pray for his divine intervention, for his guidance. In fact, although Brahma and Shiva are very extraordinary in their positions, they themselves also worship Lord Vishnu. Thus they are counted amongst the demigods and not as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This same distinction is also made between the devotees of Vishnu and those who do not worship him. The devotees of Vishnu are called devas, or demigods. Prabhupada tells us this in the purport, whereas those who turn away from him are known as asuras, or demons. Lord Vishnu, he always protects and he always supports his devotees. While Brahma and Shiva, although great, sometimes may act in ways that appear to favor the demons. And that's not because they share the demons' motives, but rather because they act strategically in order to carry out the Lord's divine arrangements to ultimately bring everything under Krishna's control. And we've got to remember that we have, in this material world, we have good and bad, good and evil. And there is a balance between these two forces, good and evil. And sometimes the demigods might have to work in a way that might seem a little bit confusing to us. But ultimately, they're actually doing the Lord's work, Krishna's work. They go to him for guidance. They go to him to ask what they should do, how they should act, when it's something that they cannot deal with directly. So, what can we learn from this? Well, we have to learn to see beyond the modes. Just as worshippers are influenced by the modes of nature, we should examine our daily choices. Are we cultivating goodness, clarity, compassion, devotion, or are we slipping into passion, like restless ambition, or ignorance, laziness, illusion? By turning to Krishna, we gradually rise beyond these modes. We should learn to go to the source. We just talked about Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma approaching Lord Vishnu for guidance. Even the demigods, despite their power, approach Krishna for help. Similarly, when difficulties come, let us learn to directly go to Krishna through prayer, through chanting, through seva, because he actually is our ultimate refuge. And this is something that I'm really having to focus on at the moment. And it's funny how we take things for granted in our day-to-day lives. When we come to a situation like I'm experiencing, like my family's going through at the moment, we can go one way or we can go another way. We can blame Krishna and say, why are you doing this to us? Why are you doing this to me? Why are you taking my mother away from us? Well, my mother is a Vaishnavi, and we talk every day at the hospital. And she's encouraging me at this moment in time to focus on my chanting, to turn to Krishna for guidance, to turn to him for help. It's hard. It's really hard sometimes. But we have to remember, that as Prabhupada reminded us, these bodies and this world is temporary. And that sometimes things have to change. And sometimes that change is hard to accept. Because we don't want to lose loved ones. We don't want to have to go through hardships. But I have found that in focusing on my chanting, focusing on my reading, seeking the help of devotees by coming to sanghas like this, being able to share something, it gets me through. And that's Krishna's work. Respect without confusion. There's another thing that goes on here in the purport. Brahma and Shiva are worshipable in their positions, but our devotion should be rooted in understanding that they themselves bow down to Lord Vishnu. By honoring them properly as servants of Krishna, we keep our devotion pure. That brings me to association. We should be mindful of our association. Srila Prabhupada warned us that those who ignore Vishnu are as good as asuras. In our own lives, we should guard against influences, people who we do not want to associate with. They may be, bringing us bad influences. We need to be careful and intelligent about our association. We need to be mindful of our bad habits. We need to be mindful of what we read or see on the TV or the news. We're very careful about what we watch, how we take that information in, that we don't get distracted from serving the Lord. And instead, we should spend more time in strengthening our association with devotees, because ultimately that's what will get us through things. And take shelter in all circumstances. Just as the demigods never hesitated to approach Lord Vishnu in times of crisis, we too should train our hearts to turn to him first, not last. Whether it's joy, whether it's distress, prayer and chanting can become not only our very good friend, but should be our natural response. So I'm going to stop there because I have to leave now for the hospital in a few minutes. I hope I was able to do this some justice this morning, and thank you so much for inviting me and allowing me to share something through this time. It's a great help.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Krishna Keshav Prabhuji. Very beautifully delivered this Srimad Bhagavatam shloka and the message to all of us. Thank you so much. And we pray for your mother so that she'll be always immersed in the devotion to Krishna. She does not experience any pains, whatever is happening. This is a statement of, again, the Lord. Tapanti vistapanaitan madgata chetasaha. The devotees, they do not experience these tapatriyas. Instead, they focus on the Supreme Personality of Godhead, remembering Him all the time. Tarapiyayatnena dhrutyayam tamaha. By that, they will cross this material essence very easily. So we pray your journey to the lotus feet of the Lord for your mother without any obstacles in her life. Thank you so much. And can I request all devotees kindly unmute and do three Lord Hari Bols to Krishna Keshav Prabhuji, please.
Hare
Hari Bol.
Hare
Bol.
Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, we will pray for you, ma'am.
Thank you very much. I will see you all tomorrow morning. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. You were wonderful.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Okay, so that is from Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, so here the Lord Brahma, Vishnu, and Maheshwara, so they carry out their functions for Srishti Siddhi Pralaya Sadhana Sikti Rekha. Sorry. Yova aham cha girishasya vibhusvayam cha sati udbha pralaya hetava atmamolam bhitva tripad gauruda ek urupravaha tasmai namo bhagavate bhonadhrumaya. So on top of these three deities, we have got Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu, who is the Bhonadhrumaya, root of this cosmic manifestation. And here, and also the Goswami describes that out of the three deities, Shreyamshi Tatra Kalu Sattva Tanundunam Siho, one has to approach only the Vishnu only. Sattva Tanur Drunam Siho. Siho is one, he can derive the benefit, Drunam, for the human being. Sattva Tanoho, who is that Sattva? So it is the Vishnu. He is the only one who can give the benediction, auspiciousness to the living entities. So Sattvam Rajastamiti Prakriter Gunastair Yuktaha Paraha Purusha Eka Ihasa Dette Sityadai Hari Virinchi Hareti Sanyaha Shreyomchi Tatrakalu Sattvatunandunam Siho. So likewise, Suta Goswami mentions in the beginning of Bhagavatam, one has to approach only the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And all these Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, Gunapimanuna Devaha Sargadishu Asya Yad Bhayat Vattyanti Anuyugam Vashayetat Sacharacharam. So Gunabhimanuna Devaha, the three deities, Sargadishu Asya Yad Bhayat, and all the demigods, Asya Yad Bhayat, by the fear of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, they carry out their functions. But however, the Lord is coming as a Vishnu only in the world to maintain this one of the function, Sthiti. So that is Sujamitaniyuktoham Haro Harati Tadvashaha Purusham Vishwarupena Paripati Vishwadruk. So the Lord, he appears as one of the deities as Vishnu, and while keeping Brahma and Shiva in his control. Sujami Tanyuktoham Haro Harati Tadvashaha. So likewise, so this is the statement of, I think it is Brahma to Narada Muni when he was describing. Okay, so that is from Srimad Bhagavatam. And all demigods, they go to the, not only demigods, and also all this, the earth. So it is So, स्रवन्ति सरितो भीताः नभुस्तर्पति उदतिर्यतः अग्निरिन्दे सगिरिभिः भूः न मज्जति यद्भयात्. So again, some statements describes that all the rivers are flowing, and also that is Sravanti Sarito Bhitaha, by the fear of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Navustarpati Udadiryataha, and the oceans are not crossing their limits, not crossing their shores, that beaches. So that is Navustarpati Udadiryataha. Agnirinde Sagiribihi Bhuhu. Agnirinde. So the fire is blazing by the fear of the Lord. Agnirinde Sagiribihi Bhuhu. And there are so many big mountains. It is all Sagiribihu Namajjati. So the earth is having that much of oceans and big mountains. But Namajjati Yad Bhayat, it does not sink in the waters also. Yad Bhayat, by the fear of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Lord is only one, but He is maintaining everything from behind. So likewise, this Srimad Bhagavatam goes so beautifully. Okay, so that is from Srimad Bhagavatam. We shall, so this is Visvasya Janmasiti Samyamadhe Krutavatarasya Padam Bhujamte Rajema Sarve Saranam Yadesha Smrutayam Prayachati Abhyam Swapumsam. He gives the Smriti, remembrance, and also Abhyam, fearlessness, Swapumsam, for the devotees. So demigods taking the shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Again, lotus feet here. Okay, so that is from Srimad Bhagavatam. We shall move to Srila Prabhupada's daily letter. So today letter to Kirtanananda, November 12th, 1970. Please, can I request any unallocated devotees to read this letter, please? Is a small letter. Devashish.
I can read, Prabhu.
Sridharan Govind. Yes, Prabhuji, please.
My dear Kirtanananda Maharaj, please accept my blessings. I beg to acknowledge it of a nice letter from Gorakhpur dated October 31st, 1970. I have come back to Bombay. The letter was redirected from Amritsar. I am so glad to note your realization about Krishna consciousness movement. Actually, it is unique and there is no comparison with it of any other movement. It was Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's prediction that by accepting this movement, everywhere people will be very happy. Now it is in the hands of American boys who are intelligent and resourceful. Therefore, this most beneficial movement can be broadcast everywhere and everyone will be happy. Sriman Ramananda Das Adhikari is also a great asset to our movement, and I'm wiring to him one letter separately. Both of you combinedly do the needful. I received a letter from Jayapatak and he is also negotiating with the Hamilton House. If there is no important business in Calcutta, I have advised them to go to Gorakhpur to join you. I have sent one telegram to Ramananda accepting his invitation for my going to Gorakhpur. Please keep me informed of the activities here. Hope this will meet you in good health. Your ever well-wisher, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai. Thank you, Prabhuji. Any takeaway points, Prabhuji, from this letter?
I mean, the takeaway point is our Krishna consciousness moment, that once it's mostly Prabhupada is writing letter to his disciples about the movement and how we can able to spread and how people can be happy. And then Kirtan Maharaj I think he's explaining about his realization of Krishna consciousness movement after practicing for some time, and Prabhupada is very happy with his comments and with his realization about the movement. And as Prabhupada always say, and we also read from Shastras, that there is no movement is equivalent to Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness movement is ultimate for any human society, which will bring the people more happy. And then once accept this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement, it makes people more happy, chanting and and make them very happy. That's what Prabhupada is trying to explaining in this. And also he when he spread the movement, Americans really were thinking of this movement, how to spread and everything, because Prabhupada tried to establish in India, which didn't happen that very well for him. But in America, he kind of established, and a lot of people joined the movement. And then they are also intelligent, technology-wise, they're well advanced and resourceful, so they can able to spread the movement much better than what Prabhupada was expecting. So he's very happy with the movement, how his disciples were propagating the Krishna consciousness movement. And then Prabhupada is appreciating everyone's contribution, everyone's work in this movement. And then he's always, as we know, that Prabhupada always support his disciples, and he encourage them and help them in every way aspect that they can able to spiritually advance themselves and also spread the message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to the entire world. That is my understanding here, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Very nicely explained and summarized. Thank you so much. Okay, any other comments, dear devotees, you wanted to add? Okay, so that is from Srila Prabhupada's letter. So Krishna consciousness movement is unique. There is no comparison with it of any other movements at all. So such a cleansing and purificatory process, one has to go through all these things. Then he will practically realize it. Outside, they cannot understand it. Okay, so this needs to be spread throughout the world. Okay, thank you so much, Prabhuji. And this is from Prabhupada's letter, and from the announcements point of view. So today is Wednesday. We have got a Kirtan evening at 8 p.m. I have requested Gaurangi Mataji to sing the demigod prayers as like a Kirtan. So let us see how that will go. Hope other devotees, so please come and join and sing Kirtans to glorify the Lord, their lordships. And also nice to see Sanchita Mataji back in the Sangha. Thank you, Mataji, for joining. Okay, so and the devotees, if you got any other updates or you wanted to share anything on Krishna consciousness, kindly share. Okay, if there are no updates, then we shall conclude and continue with further japa. पंचकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय, श्री
जय
प्रभुपाद की जय।
जय
हरे कृष्ण कॉन्शियस डे एवरीवन।
हरे